On the news, Senate commends President Tinubu for granting assent to Nigerian Insurance Industry Reform Act 2025. ECOWAS Parliament takes campaign against drug abuse to Liberia. Plus, Speaker Nasarawa State House of Assembly preaches unity when National Association of Nigerian Students, NAS, came calling. Hello and welcome to Parliamentary News. I am Ene Ojonugba. With the stroke of a pen, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has repealed the 2003 Insurance Act, replacing it with the Nigerian Insurance Industry Reform Act 2025. A law NICOM and stakeholders hailed as a game-changer for market growth and consumer protection. Musa Abubakar reports.
A historic shift is here. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has assented the Nigerian Insurance Industry Reform Act 2025, a bold law that replaces the 2003 Act and redefines the future of insurance in Nigeria. With stricter capital requirements, compulsory insurance, and full market digitization, NIRA 2025 promises faster claims, stronger protection for policyholders, and a modernized industry ready for global competition. Praised by the National Insurance Commission as a game changer, the reform is backed by lawmakers, finance minister, and key stakeholders, all united in driving Nigeria toward a $1 trillion economy. The goal is clear: boost market confidence, attract fresh investment, and market Nigeria's insurance sector, a leader across Africa and beyond. The reforms are signed. Now the real work begins. In Abuja, I am Musa Abubakar, NTA News.
The Senate Committee on Banking, Insurance and Other Financial Matters has commended President Bola Tinubu's assent to the Nigerian Insurance Industry Reform Act, saying it marks a pivotal milestone in our collective efforts to reposition Nigeria's financial services sector for inclusive growth and global competitiveness. In a statement, Chairman of the committee, Senator Adetokunbo Abiru, notes that the NIRA 2025 represents one of the most comprehensive and reaching reforms in the history of Nigeria's insurance industry, as it aligns with the federal government's vision of building a $1 trillion economy. The law, according to the statement, introduces higher capacity adequacy thresholds to strengthen the financial resilience and operational soundness of insurers and reinsurers, while also establishing a dedicated protection funds to safeguard policyholders' interest in cases of insurer insolvency or failure. The NIRA 2025 equally strengthens the enforcement of compulsory insurance policies, such as the motor vehicle, public buildings, and workers' compensation for protection of lives and property at a broader level. The legislation provides for Nigeria's deeper participation in regional insurance systems, such as the ECOWAS Brown Card Scheme, enhancing cross-border coverage and cooperation. The House of Representatives has asked the Federal Character Commission to lead by example in enforcing constitutional provisions requiring equitable distribution of all cadres of posts in the public service of the Federation. Chairman House Committee on Federal Character, Idris Wasi, stated this while frowning at perceived disparity in the distribution of directors of the Commission at its headquarters and across the 6 geopolitical zones. The committee invited the management of the Commission for an interactive session to clear the air over observed contravention of federal character principles in some agencies of government.
I'm aware that just a couple of months ago, few retired, and I'm also aware that next month, which is month of September, by the middle of September, 1 or 2 will retire. So, yes, we know we have to do this equitable distribution. Equitable distribution is also different from equal distribution, because we have to make that clear also. It doesn't mean that
I disagree with you. Northwest had what number? Directors. Northwest, he told me 4. North Central, no, more than 4. Thank you. North Central 1. Southwest 0. Why should it be so? Why should it be so? Whether in their promotion and whatever the constitution is very, very clear as to what they are supposed to do. And so you are the first line as far as I'm concerned.
The Federal Character Commission acknowledged funding constraints in carrying out its constitutional responsibilities of monitoring equitable distribution of positions across more than 700 ministries, departments and agencies of government, as well as maintaining its various offices in states of the Federation. The ongoing ECOWAS Parliamentary Awareness Mission on Drug Abuse and Mental Health in Monrovia, Liberia, has met with officials of the Ministries of Foreign Affairs, Health, Education, Gender, Children and Social Protection, Youth and Sports, as well as the Mayor of Monrovia. Deliberations highlighted the dangers of drug abuse and its associated public health and socio-economic consequences. Given these alarming findings, stakeholders reaffirmed their commitments to an uncompromising fight against drug trafficking networks while advocating strengthened efforts in the three-pronged approach: prevention, treatment, and rehabilitation. The meeting emphasized the need to create employment opportunities for youth to steer them away from the grip of drug addiction. Deficit in drafting expertise has in many instances led to vague, inconsistent and legally defective regulations that need urgent action to avoid litigations and administrative bottlenecks in governance. This was the thrust of a 3-day capacity building workshop on drafting subsidiary legislation for legal officers of the armed forces and other law enforcement agencies in Nigeria, organized by the National Institute for Legislative and Democratic Studies. Muhammad Rabiu Ali reports.
In any constitutional democracy, the rule of law is the bedrock of governance, security, and social order, while legislation outlines far-reaching policy framework and legal mandates. This training for legal officers of the armed forces seeks to provide a technical know-how on subsidiary legislation that will assist in shaping the policies of governance, providing the clarity and mechanisms required for practical enforcement and operational efficiency.
For any legal officer within the armed forces and other law enforcement bodies, mastery in the drafting of subsidiary legislation is indispensable. It is essential not only for ensuring compliance with constitutional and statutory provision, but also for safeguarding institutional integrity, enhancing operational coherence, and avoiding legal ambiguities that could compromise justice or public confidence.
In the recent passing of the Nigerian Customs Service Act, we are in the process of drafting subsidiary legislations, and this training, I believe, is very important because we are among the people that will be drafting the legislation and regulation notices and other things. So definitely this training came at the right time.
Attending this will also add to my skills of what I've already learned before.
Participants are expected at the end of the training to go back stronger as legal drafters enhance capacity to translate policy into action. Muhammad Rabiu Ali, NTA News.
We now pause for some messages. Please stay with us.
Are you looking for a short channel to make your business, goods and services go viral? Look no further, as NTA Parliament is your short channel. Take advantage of our wider reach and advertise your products and services on NTA Parliament DSTV channel 370, GoTV channel 126, StarTimes channel 306, and Free TV channel 706. For more inquiries, contact the Marketing Department, NTA Parliament, NTA Headquarters Area 11 Garki Abuja, or call these numbers 080-383-40464 or 080-770-78055. NTA Parliament, strengthening Nigeria's democracy.
Thank you for staying with us. Katsina State House of Assembly has appealed to the executive arm of government to set up a committee that will review all the ongoing and abandoned projects with a view to ascertaining their status for necessary action. Abidu Yunusa reports that the appeal is sequel to the presentation of midterm oversight report by its Committee on Works and adoption of its recommendations.
The midterm report on the oversight visit by the House Committee on Works and Housing is a product of project site visit and familiarization tour to the State Ministry of Works, Transport and Housing. Presenting the report, the committee chairman Sama'ila Bawa says the committee discovered that no mechanism for analyzing uncompleted projects after visiting 30 completed and uncompleted project sites.
These projects being handled under the Ministry of Works and Housing, they followed the approved appropriation.
The committee, however, commended the state government agencies for adherence to the appropriation law of the state. Meanwhile, the chairman, House Committee on Community and Social Development, Mustafa Tukuruma, has laid committee's report on a bill for a law to establish Katsina State Electricity Law 2025 before the House. From Katsina State House of Assembly, Abidu Yunusa, NTA News.
A bill seeking to establish the Akwa Ibom State Council of Climate Change has passed second reading. Assembly correspondent Nsikak Okon reports that the bill is sponsored by member representing Oruk Anam State constituency, Prince Samson Idiong, and 14 other lawmakers.
Leading the debate, member representing Orowanam State constituency and the chief whip of the House, Prince Samson Idion, says the idea of the bill is to domesticate in Akwa Ibom State the National Climate Change Act, which provides the framework for mainstreaming climate change actions and other related matters.
Akwa Ibom State, being a coastal state with the longest coastline of 129 kilometers in Nigeria, is witnessing a gradual ocean rise as a result of climate change. Therefore, if we don't take care of the oceans in the next couple of years, we will not have some of our cities again.
Some lawmakers in support of the bill describe the bill as apt and timely, considering the threat posed by climate change, which is altering the ecosystem.
What this bill seeks to do is to domesticate what already exists in the national law, which is the Climate Change Act. And Akwa Ibom, as a subnational, is desirous of enjoying the benefits and protecting our future generations from the effects of climate change.
The harvest of today is as a result of the planting that we did some years ago. So what we're going to put in place now is actually going to save us the devastating effects that probably would happen tomorrow and the years after.
I want to look at this council establishment as very important that can help to mitigate the climate change effects in Akwa Ibom State. If we look at the fact that 3.2 million dead would happen in 2050, I think it's important as lawmakers to make laws that can help to mitigate and avoid this kind of death in our own state.
Taking an action plan to put a stop to issues of climate change, which we know are threats to life, which we know can also affect our ecosystem negatively.
Reacting, the Speaker, Udemotong, referred the bill to House Committee on Environment for in-depth study.
The bill is accordingly read the second time and committed to the House Committee on Environment to do the public hearing and report back to this House within 1 month.
Meanwhile, a bill for a law to establish the Akwa Ibom State Institute for Legislative Studies and Advancement by member representing Ibesikpo Sultan State constituency, Ubong Atta, was read for the first time and was referred to the House Committee on Rules, Business and Ethics for rescheduling. Nsika Okon, NTA News.
A resolution calling for a joint policy review retreat, formal commendation of Governor Umo Eno for his commitment to effective governance, timely accent to executive bills and alignment with legislative priorities that reflect the aspirations of Akwa Ibom people has been passed by Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly. This is contained in a motion by member representing Ibesikpo Asutan State constituency, Prince Ubong Atta, on the socio-economic impact of executive bills, which were assented by Governor Umo Eno from June 2024 to June 2025, and their transformational values to the state. Unsika Okon reports.
While presenting the motion, member representing Ibesikpo Sultan State constituency, Ubong Atta, notes that the 8th Assembly, collaborating with the executive arm of government under the Governor Moino's late administration, has within the legislative year assented key executive bills.
That the House urges the executive to institutionalize an annual joint legislative executive policy review retreat to deepen synergy and assess the socio-economic return on legislative actions. This motion reaffirms the indispensable role of legislation in catalyzing sustainable development, restoring public trust, and driving transformational governance. As representatives of the people, we owe it to our constituents to assess, celebrate, and deepen the effectiveness of our collective legislative accomplishments.
The Speaker Udomotong directed the Clerk of the House, Nsika Obong Orok, to communicate the resolution of the House to appropriate quarters. In another development, the House has passed a resolution granting the state government approval to employ 3,000 new staff into the Akwa Ibom State Civil Service. The approval followed a report presented by the House Committee on Education and member representing Oron Udunwoko State Constituency, Kenem Onofio, and was adopted through a motion by member representing Ikono State Constituency, Asukwa Odo, seconded by member representing Mkparenin State Constituency, Uwem Umoita.
Out of 3,000 staff to be employed, 1,000 is for educational sector, teachers, 1,000 for health sectors, while remaining 1,000 is for the mainstream civil service. That after employment of 1,000 teachers, the State Secondary Education Board will be mandated to post these teachers to different public secondary schools in Akwa Ibom State.
The report of the House Committee on Education be accepted for further discussion.
I rise this afternoon to second that motion ably moved by my brother and friend, Right Honorable Sukwo Nana, representing Ikono State Constituency. I so second.
The Speaker of the Moton therefore directed the Clerk of the House to communicate the resolution of the House to the state government for implementation for the interests of the people of the states. Zika Okon, NTA News.
Speaker of the Nasarawa State House of Assembly, Danladi Jatto, has urged the National Association of Nigerian Students, NAS, national body, to be advocates of peace, unity, and national integration at all times, as well as the fight against social vices in order to build an egalitarian society. He made the call when he hosted the National Executive Council of the National Association of Nigerian Students, NAS, in Lafia. Adams Abdul Kadri completes the report.
Speaker of the Nasarawa State House of Assembly, Danladi Jatto, warmly received the Nigerian Students' National Body, led by the President, Comrade Olushola Ladoja. Speaker Danladi Jatto underscored the role of the Association of Nigerian Students in preaching peace to the youths across Nigeria. He appreciated them for the visit and assured them of total support to the association at all times. President, National Association of Nigerian Students, made it a point blank that their visit was to appreciate Speaker for his purposeful leadership and for supporting students at all times. Similarly, Association of Resident Doctors of Nigerian Nasarawa State Chapter were hosted by Speaker, seeking effective synergy and support to tackle the health challenges. Jatto appreciated members of the association for living up to their responsibilities.
Also, commend you for what you have just told me, that you always want to give back to the society.
From the State House of Assembly, Adams Abdul Kadri, NTA News.
And this is the much we can take for now. On behalf of the production crew, I am Ene Ojonugba. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.